Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. Let's continue the Reactjs interview questions tutorial series. In this video, we'll discuss on what is state and props and how to use them in a Reactjs component.
If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates.
I'm using Visual Studio Code to create a Reactjs application. Now before defining or discuss state and props in Reactjs, first we must know in Reactjs there are two types of components. One is the class component and the second one is a functional component. First, let's discuss the class component, how we use state in a class component. So in the source folder, I'm creating one JS file, new file. The file name is state cre.js, which is my file name, and also this is a component. Now to create a class component, first we need to import the React class. So let's add that one. Import React from React library. After that, let's define a class. My class name is, which is my file name, state cre extends. I'm extending the components through the React. After that, I'm adding the render, which I want to, in this render, I'm adding the return. We require one curly brackets here. This return, which displays the output div element, which is the root element. H1, how to use state in Reactjs components. At the end of this component, we need to export default my class name state cre, which is my component name also. Now let's save this file. Now before implementing the state in this class component, let's check the output, how it looks, the designing part of this component. So for that, we need to configure our component in our Reactjs index.js file. In the index.js file, right now there is app component. By default, it's app component. So I'm adding my component name, and also we need to import my component name from the path. Let's save this file, save all. Now to run this component on the browser, go to view, click terminal. In the terminal, notice the path, which is my folder name. In the folder, I have created my project name. So now I'm adding my project name to this path. Here cd, let's close this one. Cd, change directory, which is chk mul insert. Enter. After that, to run this application, we need to add the command npm nudget package manager start. Enter. And here we got the output of our component, how to use state in Reactjs components. Up to now, it's working fine. Now switch over to our component. Now it's time to define state in a class component. In class component, we can define states in two ways. One is without using constructor. Without using constructor, just define state is equals to name. I'm adding my name Charan. So to print this name on the browser, in the return method, I'm adding horizontal line. Let's put this in the center tag. After the horizontal line, I want to print this name Charan, which is in the state. My name is, let's put in the bold. My name is, and this expression between curly brackets, to access this state, we need to add this command this dot state dot. Notice here the property I've got here name, which is this one. Add the name attribute, which is a Charan. Let's save this file. Sorry, here it's not equals to, it's a column. Let's save this file. Now check the output. See here, my name is Charan. This is the one way we can use state. State is nothing but a object, and this object by default it's a null. So we can declare variables in this state. This is one method without using constructor with different state. Using constructor, how to use states in a constructor. So let's add the constructor. Inside this constructor, whenever we define a constructor, the next immediate step we need to specify the super method. Otherwise, our constructor does not work, because this super method we are importing from this component class. So after adding super, let's delete this one. Here, if I mention state, this dot state, see here I got this dot state. This dot state is equals to between curly brackets. Now I am adding name colon. Now this time I am adding John, and in this expression I'm not changing this dot state dot name. Let's save this file. Save. Check the output. See here, my name is John. So the major difference between using states in a class component without using constructor, we don't need to specify this command. If we want to use states in a constructor, we need to define the state with this command, this dot state. If we delete this state, if I try to save this file, notice state is not defined. So we need to define with state dot this dot state whenever you're using state in a constructor. Let's save this file. So now we don't have any errors. So now here the most important steps is, if we want to define state in a class component, there are two ways we can define states in a class component. One is without constructor, and the second one is with constructor. If we want to define state without a constructor, so just simply specify state this like this way. State is equals to name colon Charan. Let's delete this one. Save this file. See, my name is Charan. If you want to define states in a constructor, we need to add this dot state. If you don't mention this, the state is not defined, you will get an error. Let's save this file. Now I'm expecting the output, my name is John. My name is John. Now there is another component in Reactjs, which is the functional component. So how to use states in functional component? Directly we can't use states in a functional component. We have to use hooks in functional component to access states. Let's check that one also, how to define states in a functional component. I'm creating one more file here, fun st.js, which is my fun file name or component name. Import React from React library. After that, I'm defining on functional component function. The function name is my component name, my file name. Return give class root element h1 using state in functional component. horizontal line, and after that, here one important point is, as I told, in functional component we can't use states directly, but we can use hooks to use states in functional components. So how to use hooks? We use state. So now here I'm declaring one variable, constant variable. In square brackets I'm adding name. Let's add the name is equals to use state. Notice here when I add use state, it's added automatically into our header section. In this use state, the name I'm defining between Sharon. So now this is our state. To access the states, just simply h3, my name is name. Just add name here, which is the variable name. Don't use this dot like this dot state. This dot state we only mention in the class component, whereas in the functional component we don't mention this dot state, because we are not using directly states. States does not support directly in the functional component. With the help of hooks, which is a use state, we can access states. That's it. This variable add here. Now let's save this file. Now here we need to export our component name function. Now save this file. Now we need to configure our component. Import my component name from instead of class component, I am adding my functional component here. Let's save this file. Let's check the output. I'm reloading the browser. See here we got using state in functional component, which is our header, and the output is my name is Charan, which is our output here. I want to display. So once again I am explaining how to use state in a Reactjs components. If you are using state in a class component, there are two ways: without using constructor and using constructor. If you are using constructor, we need to define this dot state. If you are not using constructor, just define state only. That's it. And whereas in the functional component, using state is not possible directly in the functional component, but with the help of use state hook, this one use state hook, we can access state. Now let's discuss about props, how to use props, how to define and use props in React.js. So first let's take this state constructor or class component. In the index.js, now here I am adding the property my name is equals to Vijay. Now I want to access these props here in the state component. First let's save this file. In the state, make sure the component name is same, because this property belongs to the state component, which is this one. Save all. Now here between curly brackets, let's delete this one, the state. How to use props. H3 my name is, to access the props, this dot props dot the props name, which is this one, the property name my name. Now let's save this file, save all. We'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser. See, here we got the heading, how to use props in Reactjs component. My name is Vijay, which is our property here in index.js. Now here the most important step is, I want to access props through constructor. So is it possible? Yes. This is one of the most important interview questions they ask, how to access props through constructor. So we can't access props directly in a constructor. So first thing, when we want to access props through constructor, we need to convert them into a state. The props first we need to convert them into a state, then we can access those props values. Let's find out that one. I'm deleting this name John, which I don't require here. Let's define name colon. Here I'm adding this dot props dot my name. Here my name is Vijay, which I'm expecting. This time I'm changing to Lalit. Save this file. Now I have converted these props into state. Now to access the state is this dot state dot my name. Let's save this file. We'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser. Oops, here we got an error. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading my name, because we're accessing the properties prop name through constructor. So we need to specify props here in the constructor as well as in the super also. This is the most important step. If we don't add this here, we'll get this error. So now we'll check the final output. Save all. There was my name is, oops, my name is, what is this one? Name. Here not my name. This variable we need to add name. Save this file. So here my name is Lalit. So here once more I'm telling, using props through state is, first we need to convert the props into state, then only we can access them in a render method using state, this dot state. This is my property, I have used it in the state, and I have called this state with a property name, which is Lalit. And now the final part, how to use properties children properties. What are children properties and how to use them in React.js? So here, let's read this one. I'm adding my component state create. Between these tags, I'm adding my name is Charan. Let's add my name is Charan. My name is Charan. And I'm adding one more. My name is Vijay. Now I want to access these properties, which are the child properties. These are called children. These are the children properties. Whatever the data between these two tags is the children properties. Now I want to access these two children properties here in the state component. So here what I'm adding, let's delete this one. this dot props dot children. That's it. To access the children properties in our component, we use this dot props dot children. Let's save this file. Save all and check the output. I'm reloading the browser. See here we got my name is Charan and my name is Vijay. That's it. In this video tutorial, I have explained what is state and props and how to use them in a React.js class and functional component. Thanks for watching and please subscribe my channel.